few years ago, artificial intelligence was something far away, something happening in Silicon Valley, in research labs, inside big tech companies that we only read about online. It was not something that most Pakistanis thought about on day-to-day basis when they woke up in the morning and went to work. But that has changed, quietly and very quickly. Today, software can write emails, answer customer calls, generate designs, translate languages, analyze data, and even write computer code. Tasks that once required human effort are now being done faster, cheaper, and sometimes better by machines. For countries like Pakistan, this raises a serious question. Not an academic one, not a futuristic one, a very real, very immediate question. Can artificial intelligence help Pakistan's workforce, or will it end up hurting it? To answer that honestly, we need to step back and look at how Pakistan works today, how AI is spreading globally, and where the two collide. Pakistan has one of the youngest population in the world. Every year, roughly 15 to 20 lakh young people enter the job market. Some of them find work, many don't. Others have to survive through informal or unstable jobs with no contracts, no protections, and very little security. At the same time, the economy is still heavily dependent on labor intensive sectors: textiles, agriculture, retail, transport, clerical work, and basic services that employ millions of people. These sectors keep the country running, but they are also built around repetitive tasks, kind of work that automation and AI are particularly good at replacing. This is where the anxiety starts to creep in. In 2025, a study was published. It was from an institute called Islamabad Policy Research Center. According to their analysis, up to 60% of Pakistan's workforce is engaged in jobs that could, at least in theory, be automated using existing or near future AI technologies. Our goal is not fear-mongering. It is important to be clear about the facts here. This analysis does not mean that 60% of workers will suddenly lose their jobs overnight. What it does mean is that large portion of current jobs involve tasks that machines can perform if the businesses decide to adopt these tools. Even more conservative estimates are still sobering. Other reports have suggested that around 17% of jobs in Pakistan fall into a high risk category, which means that they are particularly vulnerable to automation. 17% might sound like a small number to many, but in a country of over 200 million people, that translates into millions of livelihoods. Unlike wealthier countries, Pakistan doesn't have strong safety nets waiting underneath. The reason this issue feels so dangerous in Pakistan has less to do with AI itself and more to do with the foundations of our workforce. A large part of Pakistan's economy operates informally. Shop workers, daily wage laborers, small traders, farmhands, delivery drivers, home-based workers, many of these people are invisible in official data. They don't have written contracts, they don't receive formal training, they don't have access to unemployment benefits or retraining programs. If automation arrives suddenly in these spaces, there is no buffer. People would simply fall out of the system. Digital literacy adds another layer to the problem. Pakistan has tens of millions of smartphone users, but knowing how to scroll through social media is very different from understanding how digital tools work in a professional environment. Surveys conducted in recent years have shown that a large majority of office workers are already using some form of AI at their work. However, barely half of them have received any structured training. A significant portion are using these tools without fully understanding them. That gap matters because workers who understand AI can use it to become more productive, but the workers who don't will get replaced by those who do. Education complicates things even further. Pakistan's education system has struggled for decades. Millions of children are out of school. Universities are improving, but many still teach outdated curricula that do not reflect how quickly technology is changing. Advanced skills in data analysis, machine learning, cloud computing, and automation are still concentrated in a small segment of population. So when people hear warnings about AI taking jobs, what they are really hearing is a deeper fear. The country is sadly not ready to adapt. However, the story becomes more complex and more interesting. Despite all of these structural weaknesses, AI is already being adopted across Pakistan. In fact, in some ways, adoption is happening faster than expected. Office workers are using it to draft documents, analyze data, automate repetitive tasks, and assist with coding. Freelancers are using AI to compete globally. Small businesses are experimenting with chatbots, automated marketing, and digital payment systems. Productivity gains are real and they are already visible. At the same time, certain sectors are growing precisely because of AI, not in spite of it. IT services, software development, digital marketing, healthcare analytics, data driven services have all expanded in recent years. These are the areas where AI doesn't replace humans outright but amplifies what skilled workers can do. Pakistan's IT exports crossed the equivalent of $1 billion in a single quarter for the first time. This was not an accident. It reflects a gradual shift towards higher value digital work. AI played a role in making Pakistani talent more competitive globally, especially in freelancing and remote services. This creates a strange contradiction. On one hand, AI threatens jobs that rely on routine labor. On the other hand, it opens doors for workers who can adapt, reskill, and reposition themselves. The real danger then is not unemployment overnight. The real danger is inequality. AI does not hit everyone equally. It rewards those who are educated, digitally literate, and connected. It punishes those who are not. In Pakistan, that divide is already wide. Factory workers whose jobs can be automated are far more vulnerable than software engineers who can use AI as a tool. Clerical staff and call center employees face more risk than data analysts or system administrators. Women who are already underrepresented in the workforce and often concentrated in administrative or informal roles face disproportionate exposure to automation. Without intervention, AI can widen existing gaps between cities and rural areas, between men and women, between the educated and the uneducated. And yet, despite all of these risks, Pakistan's leadership continues to push for digital transformation. In 2025, the federal government announced new initiatives aimed at accelerating digital payments, expanding financial inclusion, and reducing reliance on cash. Committees have been formed, targets have been set, vision has been made clear. Pakistan wants to modernize, document its economy, and integrate more deeply into the global digital systems. There are practical reasons for this push. A cash-heavy, undocumented economy makes tax collection difficult. It limits transparency. It keeps millions of people outside the formal financial system. Digitization, supported by AI, promises efficiency, visibility, and growth. But digital transformation without human transformation could be dangerous. If businesses adopt AI simply to cut costs without investing in retraining workers, displacement will follow. If educational reforms lag behind technological change, graduates will enter a job market that no longer requires their skills. If the infrastructure remains unreliable, with inconsistent electricity, patchy internet, and weak cybersecurity, the benefits of AI will remain concentrated in a few pockets. So, can AI help or hurt Pakistan's workforce? The honest answer is that it will do both, depending on the choices Pakistan makes now. Pakistan invests seriously in reskilling if universities update their curricula, if vocational training programs focus on digital competencies, if small businesses are supported in adopting technology responsibly, AI can become a force multiplier. Workers can move into higher value roles, productivity can rise, exports can grow. The economy can shift from labor intensive survival to skill based competition. However, if these steps are delayed, AI will not wait. It will continue advancing. Companies will adopt it anyway, and the people least able to adapt will bear the cost. This is not a distant future problem. It is already unfolding on the ground. Artificial intelligence is not here to save Pakistan. It is also not here to destroy it. It is merely a tool, powerful, neutral, indifferent. What matters is whether Pakistan treats AI as a shortcut or as a responsibility. In the end, the question is not whether machines will become smarter. They will. The real question is whether Pakistan's workforce will get the chance to become smarter with them. If you are interested in such deep dives in Pakistan's technology sector, then consider checking out our other videos. If you enjoyed this video, then consider giving a like and subscribing to the channel.